Frank, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, all good.
You were doing really well, taking the early rounds, and your footwork was tremendous. Did you feel like you were in control of this fight?
I felt like in the beginning I was in control, then got a little too comfortable. You know, I got comfortable chilling on the ropes, trying to find that bigger shot. You know, it wasn't presenting itself. I stopped doing my movement. You know, once I stopped doing my movement, he was able to land more shots. Once I stopped, you know what I mean, doing my thing, you know, he got off more shots on me.
Is we're going to talk about the main reasons fighters lose when it counts most, and how can we prevent it by eliminating incompetence.
What does that mean? Eliminating incompetence. What you find in high-level boxing, so pay close attention, because you're going to want to keep these pearls front and center whenever you are in a position of competition. Fighters take this thing seriously. When you start out using your fundamentals, which is the jab, you're either going to jab high, you're either going to jab low. What we're finding is there are 4 quarters to a fight. When something is working, how do you actually benefit greatly from it?
Was your success or your feeling of success the reason you got comfortable?
No, I wouldn't say it was like me feeling my success. It was just me trying to figure out what I could do to slow the pressure down from him coming. You know, I wasn't trying to move too much, too excessive, you know, because I felt like that's what they wanted me to do, tire my legs out. So I was trying to slow it down a little bit and kind of pace myself instead of moving so much.
All right, so the next drill, I'm going to show you how to rest exactly like we just did. We showed you how to take the breaths. Now your objective is, if I throw shots, I keep the jab back there on him, and I'm resting. As I'm walking, I'm resting. I'm keeping him where I want him, but at the same time, I'm resting. Rested. I'm walking. I take a breath up. I roll, I move as what we call my pirouette. As I'm executing my pirouette, at the same time, you want your fighters to be breathing, resting. When else can you rest? The minute you get a break, when you're tired out, you let him do the work. Let walk you around, keep him tied up, the rabbit wheel, break. And during that period of time, you're resting. Immediately after the punches or before you start the punch. That's when you learn the craft of boxing.
Kind of pacing myself instead of moving so much, but came in, landed a big shot, you know, and, you know, it was a shot I didn't see.
The thing is, find that hole, that other partner in that ring that you're dancing with did not discover he had a hole there. So if you're landing shots to the belly, you're going to continue throwing that shot. You're not going to switch it up and start doing something totally different. What you're going to do in high-level boxing is establish that jab and add to it, right?
That's right.
That's where the hole was, so that's where you stick to.
And let's take a look, and you can tell us where you get caught here in the 8th round from your vantage point. Right there. That uppercut.
Yeah.
The next thing, that happens over the first 3 to 4 rounds because boxing is in 4 quarters. The second quarter is adding that other piece to that puzzle, which is that right hand up top or hook off that jab with the left hook.
Really, I just didn't see the shot. I didn't see the shot. You know, he landed that up, you know. They always say, they've been telling me, you know, the shots you can't see is the ones that come from underneath. And that's the shot he landed, you know, and he came over the top with that left.
These are key things when you're developing and building. But what we see happening is fighters are so anxious and want to try different things in the ring. Their ego gets in the way. They start to switch it up and start allowing that EQ to take over instead of their boxing IQ and what they've worked on now. At the same time, there's a level of incompetence going on sometimes in boxing.
Are you judging me because I'm living my dream and I'm winning?
With a stable that includes pros like Errol Spence Jr., Jermell Charlo, Anthony Joshua, Ryan Garcia, and Frank Martin, James has earned his place among the most respected and revered trainers in the sport. It was after this defeat that James decided the time had come to bring his illustrious career to a close. "It's been an incredible ride," James shared in a candid interview, his voice carrying the weight of years spent in the trenches of the boxing world. "But everything has its season. I've poured my heart and soul into this sport and into these fighters. Now it's time for me to take a step back and let them shine on their own." However, as with all great journeys, there comes a moment to step back and reflect, to consider what lies beyond the horizon. For Derrick James, that moment is now.
That says you've done what you needed to do. You've started something, you've added to it, and now you can switch and add that third piece to the puzzle. But we simplify it, and they make it more difficult for themselves. And that's where fighters go wrong, and the fight starts to turn. And that's a common thing nowadays. There's very few fighters that start something and build upon it, and then stick with it long enough to come away with the outcome that they wanted.
Everything we've been working.
Now, when you came to Las Vegas, saw yourself on the marquee and everything else, I mean, it's every prize fighter's dream to have a big-time fight here in Las Vegas. How's that like realizing a dream?
Honestly, man, I don't feel like it hasn't hit me yet. You know, it's not going to hit me until after I get this win. After the win, I feel like everything going to set in, you know, all my accomplishments, everything, you know, just seeing my picture and stuff. It ain't really like, it ain't hit me. You know, after the win, though, I'm going to feel it.
Oh, left uppercut.
The reason why you're having so much trouble learning boxing is because most people only learn in one phase, where there are 4 phases to boxing. Phase 1 is the basics, is when you learn what is essentially required to do this sport. Number 2 is advanced. And this is where you learn the upper echelon of those skills and tactics. But then there's phase 3. This is what you call unconventional boxing. These are the things that are typically frowned upon, like in the peekaboo style, you square up. In the Philly shell, you drop one arm. These are unconventional methods of boxing. Now, number 4 is where this all comes together. Your basics, your advanced teachings, your unconventional styles. This is what we call craft. You've made it your own. If you ever want to get to the upper echelon of boxing on any level, you must learn all 4 phases and be seen as the champion you are, which is winning the fight.